Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kaleidoscopes of the Arts. You're listening to us on WKDW 97.5 FM Rural Community Radio out of Northport, Florida. You're listening or you're not. Actually, right now, that's why we're on the Bishop West Real Estate Tower. Well, we had a lightning strike, and we're going to be talking about that today because, man, we need your help. Yes, you people out there in listening land, in watching land, on social media. Let's make this viral, right, Dee Dee?
Absolutely, Marie.
And I'm one of your hosts, Marie LaBrosse, and my other co-host with me is,
I'm Dee Dee Gozion from the Northport Art Center.
and we have special guests before we go into anything else. Let's talk about bringing up our guests today with us, and they're part of the radio station, and we're bringing them on because they're the ones with the hands-on that know exactly what is going on and what we need and why we need help from you, the listener. So, without further ado, let us introduce the station manager, RJ Malloy, one of the show hosts, Pete O'Shea, and the producer and assistant station manager, Joe Maria. So, welcome to the show. Yay, yay. Hi, guys.
We're in here, Joe.
Come on. Yeah, let's get nice and cozy there.
I took a shower. Days ago.
No, RJ, we'd like you to explain to the audience exactly what had happened there.
We had a direct hit. It's the first time that's ever happened. I was complaining to a friend of mine who runs a restaurant. He said, "Hey, nobody told you to get involved with a business with a 100-foot iron pole in the backyard." But we finally had our first direct lightning strike, and it was devastating. It melted the shortwave antenna like a candle. It destroyed the transmission antennas, the distribution box, and then it came into the facility, and it wiped out all of our routers, and it wiped out a couple of telephones. It blew some breakers out of the breaker boxes. It was pretty devastating. I've got a whole pile of dead equipment right outside my door here.
It also curled RJ's hair. He looked quite like Shirley Temple for 3 days after.
Yes.
And I heard that, and I saw that, and you know what? You're looking pretty good now, though, RJ. You really are. You recovered. And look at Joe. Joe, I heard that you were close to that pole, too.
I'm always close to the pole.
Yeah.
we don't want you guys swinging on the pole, but we may have to do that. We may have to get out there and do a pole dance or something to try to get some money for us, right? And I wanted to talk to people. There's a fundraiser coming up, and I'll bring up that flyer soon. But I want to talk to people before we even talk about that. If you're watching on Facebook right now, that means that you're part of the Facebook community. And that means that you can do fundraising. And I just set up a fundraiser. And I don't know what RJ just did there, but a fundraiser for the radio station on my own personal page. And there's a way that you can do matching money. And if you know, I don't know if you can see there, I'm doing $200 matching money. But I tell a little bit about the story about why I'm doing this fundraiser. I'm going to try to raise $500 on my own with a $200 match. And I have over 2,600 friends. If each one of you gave $1, but I think the minimum Facebook lets you give is $5, I'll be matching $1 for it up to $200, but that would be $2,600. And if you're a Facebook friend of mine, I give to you a lot of times, give to something that I care about and believe in. Right, Dee Dee?
Absolutely, Marie. It's the way the community works. We help each other in a time of need.
And So I will take this off screen so everybody can know that there's different ways. And one thing about Facebook, it's 100% every dollar that you give goes to the radio station, and takes a couple of weeks to get them. If there's a process, but you know what? You don't have to worry about that. They will get the money 100% of the funds that you give, because a lot of times, and Pete, you know that from running nonprofits, a lot of times you don't even get that money directly into your account, do you?
No, you usually don't. There's so many fees and other things that come along with that, so you don't see it. So this is pure and beautiful, guys. And what's pure and beautiful also is this radio station. Look, the tower went down, but we're still on the air internet-wise and Facebook-wise, and we can track exactly who's listening on the internet. And there's still well over 20,000 people an hour that are listening to this radio station all around the world, because they can't get this kind of programming anywhere else. I call this radio station comfort food. It's like eating a big old bowl of mashed potatoes with gravy on it, okay? When you need it and you're down and you need something to pick you up, that's what this radio station is all about. It's an oasis in the desert. And it proves that it works because, again, we're not missing a single listener. In fact, it seems like there's been an uptick in listening since it's come off the tower. So that's people responding to it and saying, hey, we need this radio station. It's part of the community. This is part of the very fabric of the community around here. And people have responded, right, RJ? We're getting all kinds of people showing up, making donations. It's just really powerful to see. God bless you all. We love you. Thank you.
We had a little old lady come in walking with a cane, and she came up to the counter and she wrote a check for $10, and she said, "This is for my radio station."
Amen.
And we have amazing other. This is a $250 check from the Northport Police Officers Association. And this Northport Seventh-day Adventist Church gave us $1,000.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And people have been coming in every day, and we've been seeing it on Facebook. We've been seeing it on PayPal.
Yeah.
There's small donations, but let me tell you, it adds up. We've got about a $15,000 nut to cover to get all of this back up again. Now, our crew is coming in this weekend, and we should be back up on the air midweek next week, if all the parts are in and if there isn't any other surprises after we turn the transmitter on.
I gave a donation of 14 cents, but he gave me the lint back that was in my pocket. Everything counted. I thought the lint would be helpful also. But he's so right. Listen, guys, one Karma Macchiato, whatever it's called over there at the Starbucks. Just give up one for the week and give that to this radio station instead. That's it. Just give up one Karma Macchiato, whatever it's called there. Okay, just give up one, and then the rest you can keep. And then if everybody does that, everybody gives up one, just one little thing. Okay, then we can make this happen like that.
And we have
Hi, how are you?
and we have
Hi, Victoria's here.
Hey, how is everybody today?
We're all right.
Doing good. And Victoria is one of our show hosts and tech people. Victoria, tell our audience who you are.
Really? Do you think I want to give that away?
Well, I don't know. Keep your address too. Yeah, although she may be another pole dancer that we may need.
What are the pole dances? Have you ever done that?
No comments.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm a show host here at WKDW. I host Club KDW, a retro dance music show on Fridays and Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. And I also have this little Top 40 survey, retro Top 40 survey show on Wednesdays and Thursdays called Pop Bottle, where I have this character I created called Amanda with a British accent. And I count down, I just take a random sampling of certain chart songs on the top 40 charts from back in the day and play those for a little bit and then make some comment about them. And it's fun.
And check this out. I was here taping my show the other day while she was taping hers. I couldn't get in because of the paparazzi looking for Amanda. They were all over the place.
Yeah, you know.
They were all over the place looking for Amanda. Okay,
Yes,
there's paparazzi everywhere.
who's this Amanda?
Who is this
We have to know who she is.
This is what happened.
Just, I created a legend.
Well, Victoria, tell our audience how long it takes you to put something like that together, because we're an all volunteer radio station. I suppose you get paid as much as Dee Dee and I do, and Pete.
Oh, well, I'm still on the lower rung of the ladder here, but it really depends on the show itself. I mean, sometimes it goes quickly. I have a little bit of a different way to do it than most others do who do music programs. So sometimes it goes quickly. Other times it takes a long time.
But it's always a labor of love.
It always is a labor of love, and I'm very happy with the results. And when I listen to the airplays, it's like, okay, this is good. This was worth all the effort. I'm working on one right now that it's taking way more time than I would have ever thought. But it should be a very fun show. It's the Pop Bottle Show, and it's just something a little bit different. And I think the audience will like that.
Isn't that what the whole station is about? There's something for everybody. There's something different. There's all kinds of eclectic styles and shows here from all eras, all different styles of music. There's something here for everybody. You'll find what you love right here. You always will.
That's for sure. Whether it be
and Joe's show, I know that it takes a while because he does history with his show, right? Of the music, right?
You got Dominic listen to the music. His is full of history and information about the songs, and you got Kim Galloway who does 2 hours of music every week. She's been doing this since almost the beginning of the station.
Is that awesome?
It's got to take an incredible amount of time.
I mean, with the amount that she puts into that show, Kim, I cannot believe that she has that kind of a knowledge base. Sure. First of all, it's incredible.
And speaking for all of us as hosts, you guys as well, if one person gets something great out of all that effort, it was worth it. And we hear that all the time. We get tremendous feedback from you guys too, listening, that it's inspiring and empowering, enjoyable, entertaining, all the different things that you need a radio station to be. So if we're helping you guys, you're helping us. It's a wonderful reciprocal relationship, and it's just exciting to be part of. Look, you don't need money to make the world go around. They're about to shut the refrigerator light out of my house. I don't care. Go ahead. I got this radio station. I got my neighborhood. I got my people. I got Joe's back. Look, see? Joe is all we need. Joe is here.
And if any of you are out there listening, and it looks like there are a few of you, write in the comment, if you listen to a radio station, what show is your favorite? Let us know. We want some feedback here. Tell us, do you like that Pete O'Shea come together? Do you like that? Do you like that? I don't know. Or do you like making a difference? Or do you like RJ Malloy? RJ, you don't do a show, do you? You just run it.
No, I do 2 shows actually. I'm on Fish and Frank's show. I tech his show.
Yeah.
I also comment during the show. And I do this really strange show with Dave Krieger called City Spotlight. And Dave is one side of the spectrum and I'm the other. And what we teach people is that we can have wildly different opinions and we can still be friends and we can still get along and we can still respect what each other say.
And that's why I always wear my Be Kind. And we always talk about being kind because that's what it's about. You can have difference of opinions, but if you're kind, it makes a difference.
Speaking of kind, Joe just left again to go back to text something. But Marie, you and I were in the room doing a show one day when Joe told us the emphasis, the exact reason why this radio station matters. You asked him on air, you hijacked my show and asked him why he does this. And he says, because I can. And because it's important and because I enjoy it. And if I enjoy it, we know everybody else will too. It's the exact statement of what this radio station is all about.
And in all of our show hosts, we got 47 show hosts now. We have a Spanish show coming online here in the next week or so. So we've got 47 show hosts. And our philosophy is we create the corral. You stay in the corral so you don't get me in trouble. But what you do inside of that corral is entirely up to your creativity. We don't tell you how to do a show. So they're all different. They're all creative. They're all fun to listen to. You never know what you're going to hear. And that's so much different than commercial radio. And it's very different even from NPR that has very strict rules about how you put a show together, what's in the show, and all the rest of that. So I think that's one of the other reasons we've been so successful. Because we have that level of creativity here.
And if you notice across the bottom of the screen is posting, we have a sponsor. Dee Dee, do you want to talk about our sponsor?
Oh, of course. We love Wendy Namack. She's a huge supporter of our art center and a lot of other nonprofits here in the city. And Wendy Namack actually sponsors our radio show so that we can bring information about what's going on in the arts in your community and beyond here. Wendy Namack has her own business here in the city of Northport, and she has been also part of our board here. So her business is called Namack Portfolio Investment Professionals, LLC. Her website is www.namac.com, and her phone number is 941-429-2911. Her email is wendy@namac.com. So again, there's somebody from our community promoting the radio station, promoting the arts, and so we should be supporting her also. And there's many sponsors for many of the shows also.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that any way that you can help, you can become a sponsor. Pete, talk about that.
Yeah, if you believe in the programming that's here, you definitely can support it. This is a nonprofit radio station, so there's not an emphasis on profit here, but it certainly needs support, guys. Individual shows, blocks of shows, days of shows, however you'd like to be involved. You can be a sponsor for $5 or for whatever you want. That's again the beauty. There's no rules here as to what you can give. You give what you can. You want to come down here with coins? We'll gladly take them. You want to come down here with big giant bills that got Benny Franklin on it? Come on down with them. Whatever you need. Either way, it doesn't matter to us. Helping is helping. Every amount helps. And so you can be a sponsor of this radio station in all that it does, in the absolute difference that it makes in this community. You can't survive without each other. We can't. We just can't survive without each other. So if this station does something for you, do something back for this radio station and show the community, like Wendy just did, that this matters. When you show that something matters to you, other people pay attention to that too. And before you know, we've got a groundswell. That's how this radio station began, and that's how it will continue to grow and continue to strive, and not just survive, but strive. That's the word. In the worst of it here, with no tower, we're continuing to strive. There hasn't been 1 second that we've been off the air, and we've actually picked up listeners along the way. Come on, guys. If you're not seeing the light of that and you don't want to jump in on that, if you're a practical business person, see it from that level. Look at the numbers. We went off the air. The tower is down, but we picked up more listeners. Hello? This is a place where people are paying attention. So if you've got a business or something you're doing, you'll get attention here if you come by.
And I think this is important. We are truly listener sponsored. We don't sell advertising.
Right.
So we are not beholden to anybody's specific opinion. We have no direct bias that's being controlled by economics. Because of our diverse audience, we have diverse sponsors that just, we live on that personal sponsorship that you do for us.
And where else are you going to see that? What other media outlet can you say straight out is unbiased and there isn't any kind of slant going on? I don't know any other. I don't know another one. Okay, I don't know another one. I don't know another one. We all know who they're all bought and paid for. We know they're bought and paid for. This radio station is not bought and paid for. It stands independent on its own and allows all the views. Like RG said, you don't always have to agree. We did a show a couple weeks ago. People didn't agree with what I said, but by the end of the show, they respected the fact I took my stand and they listened and we talked back and forth. And I was able to sway a few people, and a few people swayed me to get more towards their side. That's how you do it, guys. And that's what this is. This is a beautiful oasis for that, where everybody can come here and you can feel like, all right, I can have my opinion. I'm not going to get beat up for it, and someone's going to respect me. We can talk it out, figure out solutions together. That's why my show is called Come Together. We take half an idea here, put them together. We can change the world.
Now, how else can we listen to the radio station? I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. I'm trying to move me over here. Pete, what is this? Do you know what this is?
What is that?
Was that an Alexa of some
Is that
sort?
It's one of the pods in that I have different kinds in the house. But you can listen to us anytime, any place. If you have a device like this, it's a smart speaker, and I have it unplugged because it will come on. But all you have to say to it is whatever you call it, whether it's Alexa, this one's called computer. Computer, Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM, and we'll come on any place that you have that smart speaker. And I know there's a lot of people that have those in the car. And the internet a lot of times is a lot stronger than our signal. Is that correct, Mr. RJ Malloy?
Well, it certainly reaches all over the world as opposed to about a 40-mile radius from the tower. And it's interesting, you can say the same thing to your phone. If you got an Android phone, it's, hey, Google, play WKDW 97.5, and it comes right on. We're also on Radio World, Radio Spark, America Free Radio was on when that was on. So,
TuneIn is another one.
TuneIn is another one. So we are all over the place because of the quality of the programming here and the diversity of the programming.
And so we pick up viewers from all, and listeners from all over the world that way, right?
That's right. And as a little station, this is unheard of. As far as I know, we're the only small community station in the country that is a major news affiliate. We are an ABC News radio affiliate. We have ABC News feed every hour on the hour. And that's a big deal because they picked it for us because of the quality and the number of listeners that we have.
Absolutely. And Giving Tuesday, we're the actually headquarters for Giving Tuesday for the community. And we're the only radio station in the U.S., well, actually around the world. And there's one that has picked up just a little bit of time that we actually interview, and we devote a whole day for Giving Tuesday. And I see there's another person coming in. Is that Rick Johnstone?
Yes, it is.
Hi. Hey, Rick, get behind Victoria.
Here, you can take my seat. No, I got.
But I'm hungry. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Rick Johnstone.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you even get involved with this radio station?
Thank you very much.
When you say that, yes, you every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a story in itself.
You made me. That's why.
And Pete, I got involved with the radio station, even though he did radio all these years and stuff. It was a connection. But Rick Johnstone, when you first came in to do the PSAs for the radio station, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us a little bit of the story about that you do the PSA, and tell our audience, how do you do that? Why do you do that? And also, how would I get a PSA of my nonprofit up online, with your beautiful voice or their beautiful voice?
Repeat the first question, please.
Yeah, wasn't there like 6 questions in there?
Yeah, well, of course, Squirrel.
Question in 27 parts.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us how to get a PSA on the radio.
Well, you email me at rickj at kdwradio.com, right? You email me. We get a lot of PSA requests through Pat Petersmark, who's the local nonprofit guru of the area, and so we get a lot through there also. And I just need to know ahead of time. Send me a flyer to the radio station. That'll work also. And we put them together, and we load them up, and we run them.
I'll give you an example. Rick did something for a flower show in Arcadia, and we started to hear from them, the people that ran the flower show. They said, we can't believe how many people came all the way to Arcadia because they heard it on the radio. So we know we have a community impact. A flower show in Arcadia got a whole bunch more people go out there because our listeners heard it and they responded to it.
I can give you one of them that fits that also. We did the Northport Christmas Parade, if you remember,
Yes.
and I emceed that with you guys and everything. About 6 months later, I'm standing in the pharmacy line in Punta Gorda Publix, and somebody walks up to me and goes, dude, you were really funny at that parade. We listened to you on the radio, and that was really fun. Okay, right? 6 months ago. But they are listening out there, and they are responding. Look, I've been working at a lot of radio stations in my life. I was there when Marconi turned the first switch on, guys, all right? I was standing right next to him. And this is the only one that I've ever worked at, that I've ever been around, where it's the two-way street. The reciprocal relationship is so great. And at other stations, we'd ask for callers, and you would hear nothing but the crickets. Here, you get them, and the people are involved. It's a two-way street, isn't it, Rick?
Yes, and might I say you look great for being with Marconi.
Thank you. I'm not doing that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Dee Dee, how
Yes.
about you? How about you? How did you get involved?
Well, it's humor. Right.
Well,
We were in Toastmasters together, and I had expressed interest in having a radio show hosted by anybody, and we just wanted to be able to talk about arts and culture and what's going on in our city as far as the arts go. And you were so kind as to actually create a radio show called Kaleidoscope of the Arts, and you asked me to join you, which was very generous since I'm not as good of a speaker as you, but I try.
well,
I'm glad to share. I'm glad to share.
they were looking for a show to sponsor, and it was about the arts, and I already had one, but I changed the name because it encompasses all the arts. Anyhow, the show does. And Kaleidoscope of the Arts. What is that picture in your mind? You always use my sleuthing. I have to do my other plug. Sleuthing, eye-opening tales of the past. And I have actually, haven't even told RJ this. I have an Anne Frank. He's a Holocaust survivor, and he was babysat by Anne Frank. So I'm going to be doing a show with him, and I think I'll have a few other people on with that. But I have RJ.
Hey, Marie, how did you get involved in the station?
Gil, okay. Should we tell that story? Okay. Gil West had been after me for a while to be on the station. To come on, and I know that it was only broadband. And here's the honest to God truth, and I'm talking to the audience out there if anybody really cares. But I found out that you guys were going to go FM. You had got the license for it, and you were going to go to that. And you were a nonprofit, and I was involved with I was actually the president of the Charlotte Players at that time. And I go, well, let me see. And I came in, and I think I interviewed with you, RJ, didn't I? Yeah. And they gave me 2 show spots. And originally, I'm trying to think, I think my first show was only a half hour, and right away I was given hours on all of them.
Because you talk so much, Marie. We couldn't go in the 23 minutes. We had to give you a whole hour.
Absolutely. Well, it's really 50 minutes or 53. 53, right, Joe? Yeah. And when I came into it, I got involved with the nonprofit side too, because I have a background with being involved with nonprofits. And we did our first fundraiser, right, RJ? I came on the board, and you and Steve and I went up with the Gulf Coast, with the Community Foundation of Sarasota to learn about the Giving Challenge, which I already have participated all the while they've been doing these. And we raised like 18,000 or 17,000 that first time around. It was just, we needed the money. You guys were taking the money out of your own pocket to run the station.
Well, I did that for a lot of times, and now I don't wear pants with pockets anymore.
They have
big shout out to the Patterson Foundation, because they double matched everything we raised that year. And that made a huge difference in how we were able to get better equipment and better microphones and mixing boards and things like that. It made a huge difference. And the other thing is, we are all volunteer here. Nobody's getting paid at the radio station.
Right.
So we're able to survive on a fairly meager budget. And that was by design. We decided that's how we're going to keep the station alive all those years. And it worked. But again, now we really need your help, because this is a much bigger nut than we're used to trying to crack. $15,000 is a lot of money.
Well, and I put out 20,000 on mine because I know, RJ, I've been around you long enough. You always try to keep it short. I mean, the money tight, and he has to leave the room for a minute, but he tries to, yeah. Oh, the pizza's here.
Priorities.
So one of the things is he tries to be, as tight as he can. And everybody knows. If you do any projects, there's always hidden fees. They always pop up at all the time, right?
Right.
RJ, I see he's coming back in. Oh, pizza
Yummy.
from Marcos.
Yummy,
Marcos.
Marcos.
Yay, yay. And Pete, you know that too. When you're running a nonprofit and you have to do things, you always find out that there's hidden fees when you're trying to do like the tower. You're going to find out even that nut or bolt, or you need another wire or something, and it adds up real quick.
It really does.
I'm actually going for 20,000.
Yeah, it does add up really fast. And what can happen too is it always happens this way. That extra fee comes after you're already overextended into the project and you can't go back now. All right. And so at that point is when you need the real help. And that's where we're at. And you never know what's going to happen until you get going on something. And, you know, when you're involved in the nonprofit world, you better know there's going to be twists and turns in it. You're not in it if you don't understand that. You got to work without a net. OK, that's just as simple as that. That's the beauty of it. That's why it's so pure and beautiful. But when things break down, that's when we really need the help, because like other stations that are bought and paid for, we don't have a net if something goes wrong. It's what makes us good, but it's also what makes us occasionally, just like now, in a little bit of need.
Right.
I love you, Pete O'Shea.
We had a small reserve, which we immediately had to deplete because we had to start buying parts because there's such a big lag in the chain of supply anymore. I mean, little things like connectors, we're waiting for them to come in over 2 weeks. But we had to deplete the reserves, and that really puts us on a heavy burden because there's regular bills that have to be paid: rent, Comcast, utilities, insurance, all those things that have to be paid on a regular basis. They keep appearing every month, and without the reserve, we always put ourselves in jeopardy. So what we're trying to do now is refill the bucket. You know, we've got to be able to pay for all these parts and stuff that are coming in, and you know, we've got to rent the lift to be able to get to the top of the tower. We just don't know what all the final costs are, and we also had to use money from our own pockets at some point here because we had to buy routers and we had to buy cables and things that got fried from the strike. And some people have been really wonderful in coming in with parts for us and things like that. So it's been great. And the community response is great too, but we still need your help. We're not quite there yet.
Do you have a wish list?
Yeah. Is there a wish list? Is there other parts that people have it? Or is
I think we have all of the parts in now that we need. We won't know everything until we actually turn the transmitter on and maybe a lightning arrestor is not working, and but there'll be small parts, you know. And you think that a little part like this got fried in the lightning strike. That's why it's black. It's $150 for that connector.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
you know, they're not little, we say little parts, but they're expensive little parts.
And they're necessary parts too, because
Yeah,
that part,
without them,
maybe
it
you
doesn't.
can't do anything. And all this other stuff that we spend $15,000
Sure.
plus on, it won't work without that $150 small part.
And just like we need every show and every hand on deck and every listener, we need every part too, okay? And we need to restore this radio station. Listen to this very carefully, guys. When you restore something, a car, your house, a radio station, you actually make it better than it was before. That's what restoration is all about. So in the process of restoring this radio station, getting it back up, getting every little part to work, we are going to make it even better than it was before. That's a vow that we'll make to you guys. Get us all the way back up again. We'll make it even better than it was before.
Right.
And even
I
do
don't
more.
doubt it.
We'll do even more
And-
because we appreciate everything you guys are doing for us.
And we found a new technology. After the strike, we learned of a company in Arizona that makes a special device that sits up at the very top of the tower. And as the tower starts to build up the charge just before lightning strikes it, it dissipates that charge. And they've put it on a bunch of towers in Arizona. And in the last 2 years, towers that usually have multiple strikes have not been hit again. So we had to buy that piece of technology because we don't want to go through this again.
That's great.
And so that will be part of the making it better, making it harder to take us off the air.
I'm so glad you guys came up with that too, because until you found that, you told me I was gonna have to lay up there at the top of the tower every night.
With a metal box.
Just laying there like this guy. I'll get in between the lightning.
What a lightning arrestor he is.
I am. I'm a giver.
Oh,
You're a giver. Well, let's talk about giving. We have a fundraiser that's happening on Sunday. And go ahead and talk about that, RJ.
Kathy McSteen and the comedy group, they came to us and they said, we want to help and we're going to put together a comedy club for you. And we're going to give you everything that we raised. They're looking at about $2,000 to $2,500. Austin's Old World was wonderful. They said, we'd love to host this and get you guys back on the air. And so that's happening Sunday at Old World. And we got Gid Pool and a bunch of Gid Pool's our local boy. We love him. And Kathy's bringing people down. Somebody's coming all the way down from Tampa to support the radio station. So we're really excited about what's going to happen this Sunday. And I get to do the opening monologue.
Oh, and how do people make reservations? Because I'm sure hopefully it'll be sold out.
Oh boy, you're asking me.
It's up on the screen. It's up on the screen.
All you got to do is call 941-426-1155. That's the restaurant, and they will take your reservation. So 941-426-1155. You don't even have to pay anything in advance. When you show up and you get your reservation, it's all part of the ticket.
And it's $15 for the show, and then they have a menu seating from 5 to 6. It's a pre-show event. I think that's music, isn't it?
Yes, Joe Guerzo, one of our great friends from Common Grounds, is going to do the music part for dinner, which is great. And there's going to be a 50-50 raffle, so you may be able to win your ticket back. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great show. Listen, guys, I did stand up full time 22 years for that much comic. That only $15? Oh my goodness, that's a great deal. Everybody makes out on that. Okay, those guys are hilarious, and you're going to have the best time of your life for $15, and that helps put a tower back on a radio station. That's win right there.
Oh, absolutely, and a night out with your family, friends, or non-family and non-friends. Maybe you'll be able to pick up somebody for the pool.
Oh, you mean it could be like a dating site?
Like a dating night. Yeah, a date night. Or, a time to, as we get older and you don't have anybody in your life, RJ, not to mention anybody's name in the room. I think everybody else has somebody here. But, who knows? Who knows? Right, RJ?
Who knows?
Tell us about all your personal stuff.
You never know. Yeah, you never know when lightning's gonna strike.
She was so fundraiser. All of a sudden, she turned into the love connection here. She shook early. We've been back in 2 and 2. All right.
Yeah. No. Look who's with us.
Hey,
Yeah. Are you at home? Are you at home, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for coming in and joining us. I'm going to put him up on screen. Hey, put your screen down a little so we can get more of your body. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, no, wrong way.
That's good. No, lower.
And that's one thing about Rick. Rick can do it all. Rick can actually tech like this for a show, just in case any of you show hosts want to know that he has a capability to tech like this.
I told you not to mention that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Sure you are.
The important part of Rick is he makes great coffee.
Oh, that's what I heard, Joe. I heard that Jill doesn't make the greatest. Is that true?
You got to put the beans in,
Oh, it can't be just straight water, right? It can't be. Look, yeah. Let's get comfortable. Have pizza. Yeah.
Any pizza, Marco's Pizza.
Oh, and you know what? That's one of the things too, RJ, that I want to mention. We have so many different people and businesses in the community that have been very generous to the radio station when we've had different things that have happened. They donate their food when we've done Giving Tuesday, the Giving Challenge, when we really have people coming into the studio, that they would do that in support. And I always have to mention Boca Lupa, because those guys have Pizza for a Cause every Tuesday. And they pick a nonprofit, a different nonprofit, take all three of their restaurants and give them money, which I think we have to register again for. But at the Northport Arts Center, we ended up doing that there. And you guys raised like $1,700 just for people going in and eating pizza for the day. So that's, you know, it's so generous of them to do that. They don't sponsor anybody anymore, and rightfully so. If they're giving out $1,500 to $1,700 a week to nonprofits, that's a lot of dough, man. That is
That's a lot of dough.
See how she did that? A lot of dough. It's a little
Rim shot, please.
It was a little cheesy too.
Very good.
Well, she's very saucy.
And this is what we get at the radio station with all these.
a little crusty yourself over there, Joe.
But who's the pepperoni?
No, I got the, what's on there? Meat? What's on there?
Sausage and meatballs.
Sausage and meatball.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and you can see the camaraderie we have here at the station. We just have a good time doing
We're
this.
family.
We're family. We get along. We have friendships outside of the station, but this is reflected in our programming and in the way we operate. Is we enjoy what we're doing. And again, we need your help so that you can continue to enjoy it with us, that we can get back up on the air pretty quick.
Yeah.
So anything that you can give us, you know, $5 minimum on Facebook, stop in at the station, say hello. I'll give you the tour. If I'm here, Joe will give you the tour. Joe will talk your ear off. But come on down, visit the station, and visit our venue next door, which is Common Grounds, which reopened September 1st after the renovations. So we're looking forward to that. So there's just a lot going on here that you can get involved in. And we're always looking for more volunteers, especially in specific things like teching and secretarial work and things like that. So
PSAs.
if you got nothing to do, if you're tired of playing golf all day long or sitting around the house staring at the TV, come on in, put an hour in at the station and become involved with this group of people. Because like I said, we have a great time. We have great friendships. We don't all agree on everything, but that's not a problem here because we do get along and we do respect each other. So help us. Send us a check. Go to the kdwradio.com, click on the donate button. It's that easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm showing it up on the screen. For those of you that are just going to be listening on the radio, you can go to our Facebook page, WKDW 97.5, our YouTube page, WKDW 97.5 FM, and then also on our Twitter page. So if you look at any of them, you can visually watch this, see what we're talking about, how to connect and that. And I'm going to take us to show everybody where you look for all this. Learn more ways to support. If you click on that and it's on the end of there, you can actually see become a member, become a sponsor, volunteer programs, and then how you can listen now. Where you see this listen now, you click on that and you can go to the website there and just listen. Our radio show will come on, and I would play it right now, but it would be a conflict of what's going on. But if you want to donate, there's different ways to do it. And we have PayPal, and we're part of the nonprofit PayPal program, and we're also on Facebook. So if you see, like here, Facebook donation will take you right to our Facebook page, or donate here, and you can pay. And that's, I believe that's a PayPal one, correct, RJ?
PayPal.
Yeah, this site is secured by PayPal. So any of you that are wanting to give, don't want to send in a check, this is an easy way to do it. You can do it right from your own computer. Now, let's talk about Common Grounds a little bit more, because a lot of people don't know that that place is the way that we bring in money, how we support ourselves throughout the year and that. And RJ, talk to us about what happens in there. And sometimes you get to host open mic. Normally it's Bud Buckley, but talk a little bit about that so our audience knows exactly, there's other things happening there. It's not just, it's radio, because actually open mic is streamed live, and it's also on the aired live on the radio. So tell us.
Well, Common Grounds every Wednesday night does open mic. That starts up again the second Wednesday in September. They do 25 to 30,000 IP addresses on the computer all over the world. We regularly see 2 IP addresses from the Philippines. We see IP addresses from Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's just amazing that people are listening. Now, what that is local talent. And I'm telling you, the people that come on to play are every range from, just starting out to, their Nashville quality. So there's a whole range of people. And the audience is starting to build back again after the pandemic. And that's become a place to meet people and make friends. And it's BYOB, and we have a little snack bar. Everything's $1. You get coffee, tea, all kinds of little edible things. And it's just a lot of fun, and you have great music. And then we're moving back to the concert series now. So Friday and Saturday nights in the near future will open back up to touring musicians. So professionals in acoustic music, and they'll be there, and those are shows that you can come and sit and listen to. And we also do them virtually, so you can buy a virtual ticket and be able to listen from home if you're not able to get out. So there's a lot going on there. And one of the big renovation ideas that we're doing is we're putting together an advisory board of musicians that are going to help operate the process and make things better and help to build the audience and all the rest of that. So again, we're a community station, we're community run, and so the music side needs its community running its community. So we're moving in that direction also. But Common Grounds is a gem of a place to go.
Yeah.
And it's a listening room. There's nobody rattling dishes and telling you what the specials are and all the rest of that, coming and going. Come in, big soft chairs to sit in, and it holds 50 people, and you can listen to some great music. We also have writers on the air that record there every Tuesday night, and they welcome people to come in and listen to what they put together. So there's just a lot going on. And then we give nonprofits the use of the room for meetings. NARFE, the retired federal employees, the Shortwave Radio Club meets there. The Democrats meet there. The Republicans meet there. So we have a wonderful room that you can take advantage of. Just stop by and say hello and check it out. And that was always a major source of our income until the pandemic hit. That is starting to build back up again. So that's another way you can help the station. Come to the shows. Tell people about Wednesday night open mic. And where can you go? And it's no fee to get in on open mic. Just come on in, bring wine or beer, and you can get some snacks, and you can have a great evening. And on our concert nights, the tickets go between $10 and $15. Where are you going to be able to go and hear great touring musicians? We've had Derek Warfield and the Young Wolftones there for $15.
Wow.
And so just come on down and enjoy. Check it out. But help us to spread the word. We're tired of it being the best kept secret in Northport. It's time for people to know that Common Grounds exists and what it does.
Well, let me take it another step further, okay? As, again, a performer all my life. The wonderful intimacy of that room is unique like I've never seen before. The ambiance, the decor, the way it's set up. It's old school, just like this radio station is. And go back to words I said before, comfort food. This is comfort entertainment. So you guys and girls out there that always have wanted to try and be an entertainer, why not take that chance now? Come and book the room, get some people together, put a show together, raise some money for this radio station, and live the dream you always wanted to live. It's a fun place. As soon as you go in there, the two marry each other. So they marry so well. Common Grounds and this radio station married to each other perfectly. It all has that same feel to it, that same wonderful home feel to it. And that's why it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful place to come.
Right. And if you want to perform at Common Grounds, it's real easy. Booking at kdwradio.com, and Penny will take care of you,
And you're in.
and she'll set it up for you. And we do our own advertising and we do our own promotions, and we help to build the audience, and then you as a performer should be helping to build your audience, and then you get a successful night.
For everyone.
Couldn't be any easier than that.
Yeah, it's,
Easier than that. RJ, before we leave, I would like you to share with the audience the story about how the radio station came together over some Guinness.
I never tire of this story.
I'm sure you don't.
I was leaving to go elsewhere. I was going to retire. I was not going to do what I was doing anymore. And so we were at the Celtic Ray with Larry Maurer, who was my friend from college. Larry was about 5'2", bright red hair. If you looked up geek in the dictionary, there was his picture. He had a PhD in chemical engineering, a PhD in electrical engineering. And my other buddy, Brian Heron, that we started the Celtic Arts Center with. And Brian's grandfather was James Connolly, who started the Irish Rebellion. So, we were a great mix of people. And so we're here at the Celtic Ray drinking Guinness. And Brian says, we never talk to people other than people we know and like. So there's never going to be an interchange of ideas between people with diverse opinions and diverse backgrounds. And Larry says, and this is 12 years ago now, when internet radio was just beginning, Larry says, hey, we should start an internet radio station. Then we can talk to the whole world. If I just knocked him off the stool, we would have laughed. It would have been over, and I would not be having this conversation with you. And so they're talking how they're going to do this, and Kevin gets involved, and he's talking about how we should do it, and entertainment and all the rest of it. And they keep turning to me and saying, come on, RJ, you need to go in with us on this because we're screw-ups. They actually used the F word. They said, we're screw-ups. We don't know how to run a radio station or a business. And I kept saying, nope, I'm heading out of town. I'm going away. And around the 6th or 7th Guinness, I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. And here I am. Both Larry and Brian passed away a number of years ago. Larry had Parkinson's, Brian had bone cancer, but they contributed to the basic operation of this station. It would not be possible today without their input. Larry designed the technology that we still use today. We're on the fiber optic backbone in Phoenix. That's where our server is. There's nothing between us and the internet. And so we have unlimited bandwidth. And Brian designed the philosophy that we stick to today, which is everybody has a voice, and it's got to be respectful free speech, but everybody has the opportunity, and we live to that philosophy today. And here we are. And again, we need your help. Send us something, anything. And if you want to volunteer, come on down to the station and talk to us. We'll find something that you can do that aids your community, because you aid the community through the radio station.
Amen.
And how about Common Grounds? I love the story about Common Grounds, how it got its name too.
Well, the British took away the commons from the Irish many years ago.
Oh, they did now.
So they couldn't assemble. And so they went down into the basements of the pubs, and that's where they would have their meetings and their political discussions and things like that. I grew up in New York City playing music, and all of the music halls were down in the basement because that was the cheap rent in New York, all the coffee houses. So we married the two ideas. So it's a meeting hall and a music hall, and it looks like these old basements that they used to assemble in. And so we have the history of all of that coming together. We have the philosophy of all that coming together where, it was an open exchange of ideas, and it was all kinds of music and poetry and everything else in New York City. And we've recreated that in Common Grounds.
And before we leave, tell our audience what other ways can they listen to part of our radio station, but it's not its own separate entity, Irish World Radio?
Oh, thanks to Derek Warfield, we run a project called Irish World Radio, irishworldradio.com. 24/7. I think they've got over 1,800 tracks now on that station. It plays 24/7, no advertising, and Derek supports that station. He's what keeps it on the air. And it's all of the stuff that they won't play in Ireland because they want to play pop music there. And so the Irish diaspora all over the world listens to Irish World Radio so they can hear Irish music, poetry, commentary. It's wonderful stuff. And that runs 24/7.
The likes you.
Peter O'Shea, Victoria, Rick Johnstone, RJ Malloy, and if Joe's in the room, is Joe in the room too? Yeah, which we can't see, stick his head in there. We'd like to really thank you for coming on today to really tell our audience and the people out there, our listeners too, how important the radio station is to the community, but not only the community here, to the world. Because we do have, I know this show gets 17,000 listeners each week, which I thought was insane. Like, who would want to listen to us, right, Dee Dee? But we do have that. We do have that many listeners. I know, Rick. I saw your face. But we'd like to actually take this time to thank our precious audience for taking the time out of your day to listen to us, whether it's our show or any of the other shows that actually are on WKDW 97.5 or KDWradio.com. Please take the time and be kind to your fellow neighbors and friends. Remember, we only get one life here. And what we do with that life makes a difference. Here at the radio station, we're trying to make a difference in everybody's life. One last word, RJ, Pete, Victoria, Rick, Dee Dee.
Well said.
Yeah, well said. If you're not able to make a donation, the other way you can help is just tell people about us. Share what this program is on Facebook. Tell people that we do have a community radio station in Northport. Help us spread the word about Common Grounds. And you can't believe how immeasurably valuable that is to us also. So please do all of the above or any of the above and help us out.
Yes, right. And Marie, you said the word community, and thanks to the modern technology, the entire world now is one community, and we can't see those airwaves, but you can hear them. So they're there, and we're there. This radio station is here as a beacon of hope, an oasis in the desert. And we need to be here. It needs to last way, way, way beyond all of us. And this needs to keep going for generations to come. We owe it not just to ourselves, but the generations to come. I look at my grandchildren's eyes and I say, I owe it to you to keep coming here. I owe it to all of everybody. We all owe this community something. We do. If you don't think you owe this community something, you ain't been paying attention, because you do. And here's your chance to show that and really become part of your community. This is a great chance to do that, to become really an ingrained part of your community, because that's what this radio station is all about.
Thank you.
And I'll just say, I want to just thank everyone for listening to and supporting us here at WKDW. It's we couldn't do it without you as listeners, as donators and volunteers. I mean, it all matters, and we appreciate it all.
And one last word, Rick, Dee Dee.
I would say I'm going to plug my own show, Northport AM, 7 a.m. in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All the local news of the area and things that are going on. We talk to Dee Dee every Wednesday. We talk to the libraries, city commissioners. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning at 7 a.m.
All right.
And I just want to say thank you that you're here for our community. WKDW means a lot to us here at the Art Center, and I know it means a lot to a lot of people in our community. And thank you for being here for us. I feel very proud.
To the audience, thank you so much to everybody that was here and our listeners. See you again next week on Kaleidoscope of the Arts on WKDW 97.5, your community radio. Thank you.
Pizza time!